because you're married to a bias, you're going to be blind. Remember, you want a sell, okay? But I'm saying if this happens, you're going to be blind to an uptrend. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
The brain can't see it, okay? Obviously, it's there, man. This is what I study, neuroscience, man. This is the real stuff. This is to get you to change, and this is what I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try again with you. It didn't work last time, but you know, we're really gonna give you a system and just some like how to make, you know, just stupid simple system by the time I'm done with this. And you either follow or you don't. But I'm telling you, if you stay married to your bias, if you choose a bias and then you try to find reasons as to why that it might happen, and you will expect what you predict. You sell, so obviously you predict it to go down, or else you wouldn't have clicked sell and put real money on it. But you expect it to go down, and you're gonna predict what you expect. Okay.
All the time.
Hopefully you know what I mean by that, but it just means you attach more. In this case, it's a sell. Now remember, this is just one trade, man. If I go through all your trades, it's all gonna be the same. Okay, you attach more, what's the word we can use? Significance to which tick, the up tick or the down tick, if you sold and you sold. So what is it?
If I sold and I saw it's more significance to the upticks, right? Because I'm scared of losing.
No, it's funny how you know yourself now. But absolutely, you attach more significance to the upticks. What does an uptick mean?
It's going against my buy, or it's going against what I predicted.
Yeah, but you're give me the end result. You're complicating it. I need it for a 5-year-old. Uptick, pain.
Yeah.
Downtick. What's the other human condition?
Joy, ecstasy,
pleasure.
Yeah.
Listen, man. All of us, every human being on the planet, their entire goal in life, they wake up in the morning. Now, this is automatic, subconscious, to avoid pain and seek pleasure. All of us. Now, what do they use? Who knows? That's the goal we're not going to go into. They write, encyclopedia sets on this stuff. But we try to avoid pain and seek pleasure, okay? Upticks are pain. What is this? So imagine an uptick is pain, each uptick. Well, how about an uptrend? Is it nice to stare at it?
Yeah. I mean, not if it's going against my bias.
I'm talking about what happened to you this week, man. We gotta understand. You sold, okay? Yeah. Now, obviously, the zone got wiped out, but you had to sell. For some reason, you wanted to sell, okay? Yeah. But if uptick is pain, you think the brain is going to be open to this uptrend and say, not only am I open to it, but hey, there's opportunity here. Is that how the brain thinks?
No.
This is not opportunity. This is disaster.
Yeah, it is.
This is wiping my money clean. Okay, so you have emotional significance, you have attachment to the trade because you care about the money, obviously. He told you that this is the worst game to learn if you need money. It's the worst, okay? Now, it's very hard for me to tell you to detach, but I'm telling you, the only way this is all going to work, and you don't experience any of this. This is all just mistakes. This is all an emotional trader. I'm literally just teaching you what the emotional trader does. This is exactly what's going on in their head, okay? People who haven't learned what? Who haven't learned to do what?
Control their emotions.
Well,
Yeah.
Detach from the outcome. No, it's very hard to detach from the outcome when if you If the outcome is a winner, you make a bunch of money, and if the outcome is a loser, you lose, and it sucks, and it strengthens your belief that you suck. Okay, you got to understand it from a psychology standpoint. You know, when you're attached to the outcome, they mean something. If I win, it means this. If I lose, oh bad. Win is good. That's not the way. Now, obviously, if you traded 0.01, which you might have to be doing now, you're too charged up emotionally. It's too charged up, okay? But maybe you have to trade 0.01. And remember, we'll see how bad you want this, man, because this is, nobody said this was easy, all right? But you've done the hard part. Now it's about making the decision and applying it. But we know, we talked about this endlessly. Valid macro zone, valid signal, okay? But you know all that, we're gonna make it, remember I said stupid simple, okay? Because you're gonna see that it's not, you gotta be a genius for this. It's not. I wish you had to be a genius. You don't. You have idiots making a bunch of money off of it, okay? Driving some fancy cars. Now, they're not geniuses like I told you. They just found the system. They do it without even thinking about it. Forget about some anxiety or discomfort, or they don't feel anything. They just found the system. They just stick to it. They've been doing it for so long. But was all these entries on a 15-minute, man? I still haven't even seen anyone do 4-hour weekly stuff, which is crazy. But we're not going to get into that. Since you do 15-minute, 4-hour, so this 15-minute entry, the numbers of thousands of trades, you're going to make 50. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it stupid simple how to get paid. Half one up 50, and I do this sometimes for these scalp stuff, 15-minute stuff. And the other half one up 100. Trust me, if it goes up 50, you close half. If it goes up 100, you close the other half. Trust me, you're not going to be mad. Trust me, you're not going to regret it. Trust me, you're not going to say that, you know, you're going to be getting paid, man. People, which is what they don't do. Okay?
Very true.
But forget about, you know, trying to see the market structure, because here's the problem that a lot of people are doing. Imagine this is a 15-minute. How long would that take to go from A to B?
On a 15-minute, probably a day, 2 days.
What if it was a 4-hour?
A 4-hour entry.
A 4-hour chart, all of this.
Oh, if that was a 4-hour chart, week, 2 weeks?
Week, 2 week. All right. Now, if you're on a 15-minute entry, does it make sense, or you're on actually a 4-hour entry, and this is the 4-hour, does it make sense to look at it and then an hour later check back on it again?
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Which
With the 15-minute, if you want a pyramid, which is what I do, and this is where the tricky part is between scalping and swinging, but man, people who can't even trade, forget scalp or swing, but let's say scalp, the most easiest, simplest stuff. If they can't even do a scalp, and at 50 they do something blind, and at 100 they do something blind, and that's all they know, and they get real good at that before doing anything, okay? Before trying to get fancy, doing the basic is that I can just find a valid zone and a valid signal, and this is obviously a 15-minute signal, 15-minute entry. If it goes down 50, I do that. If it goes down 100, I do this. Now, you're going to be doing this, okay, but, you know, skip 0.01, I would recommend. You're too charged up, man. You're too charged up. You have to scale it back to 0.01. Nothing. The outcome is nothing. It's meaningless. It's insignificant. Pennies. Okay. And then when there's nothing on the line, okay, not nothing, it's going to be live. But when there's very little on the line, you're going to, at 50, you're just going to do this. At 100, you're going to do that. You're just going to follow your system blindly. Okay. Anybody who makes money is because they have a system they follow blindly. That's all it is. We talked about why this is important, because psychology. All right. But if you can do that, then we can talk about swing, because if this is a 4-hour entry, you're not going to be looking at it. Okay. Now forget, unless you're trying to squeeze pyramid the move, but you're going to take an entry and then check it back a week or two. Like you said, a week or two. That's how long that would take. And maybe have a way to get paid of all this, but we're going to do the stupid, simple stuff. This is if you really still want to trade, because you're telling me that, maybe it's not for me. Right. Well, you would know. I wouldn't know. Maybe it's not for you. Who would know? But just know one thing. You told yourself that. Why? Because, look how, you got to look at it this way. You're saying it's not for you, and you don't even have something like this, where it's not like you're doing this and you're failing. You see, that would be a big difference.
Yeah.
So you're not doing this, but you're like, oh, well, maybe it's not for me because it's not working out. I get it, but maybe try it this way and detach from the outcomes, because you're just trading emotionally, man. And you know where the source of all the emotion is, but you got to fix it, because I'm telling you, you cannot trade, emotionally. The outcomes, they can't matter. Remember when I said trade as if you're a multimillionaire? As if, imagine. Yeah. Okay, you can do that. It's free to imagine. It's free to imagine that you're a multimillionaire, and, you're following your system. You don't care about the money. You don't need it. I just follow my system. I'll get paid. I'm not worried about the money. It is going to go up 50 sometime, and maybe some of them will go up 100. Man, do this. Watch how common it is. This is crazy common, especially on yen pairs. All right. But, let's get personal here, man. What's the source of this emotion? Are you going to find we need to find a solution to that. I'm telling you.
I have a very the truth is, growing up in a, I guess, lower class family.
Well, here's the thing. Let me just cut you off. If you make a bunch of money, wouldn't that fix a lot of it?
Yeah, 100%.
This has to be the number one goal. Okay. Now you can do this. You put some money in an account and you follow the system blindly, and you do exactly this. Obviously not middle minor stuff, and the zone is wiped and we're still trying to sell. No, that's not a valid zone. Remember the trading system. It's red light, but here you gave a green light. Okay, or whatever it is. The point is, you sold at a zone that got wiped, at a sell zone that got wiped. Yeah. The sell zone got wiped. Don't sell there. I'm telling you, don't sell there, because all the sell volume, it's not there anymore. They're not on your side now. There's somebody buying it all up. Okay, so that's not valid, that sell. But I'm talking about trades that are valid, zone valid signal. Okay, and obviously that's the trading system. Remember, this is very important stuff this is your whole trading business. Put it on a business card. Nobody's gonna know what the hell that you're talking about, but you are, because of all the years you've done, man. You know what I mean by all of this. But if you can just apply this and on an account, and obviously small position sizes. Okay, point 0.1 if you have to, or 0.01. I do not recommend you go over point 0.1. Okay,
Okay.
and do not. But first of all, man, you got to take a step back, stop trading, uh, and just get a piece of paper, man, a blank piece of paper. Where's all this emotion? Is this any emotional baggage? Right? We all have it, man. We all have it, but I'm telling you, it's baggage. You have to realize that thinking about it, talking about it, giving time to it, worrying about it, stressing about it will not get you closer. Or if it did, I would tell you. Okay, it's absolutely pointless to even. I'm telling you, you have to spend your time on doing what's gonna fix things, which is following a system blindly, even if in the beginning you don't follow it, even if it's so weird in the beginning, but you still close half and do that. Okay, but you gotta go through that stage until, just like driving, where it felt weird to do certain things, until you can do it in your sleep now. Okay, but you have to have a system that you can do in your sleep. Now, it's impossible to get there if you have emotions and you're worried about the outcome. If it goes up, oh man, if it goes down, yes, yay. That's not trading. It has to be, everything is the same if it goes up or down. You sold, okay? Now, if it went down, I'm sure you would have been so happy. And if it went up, which it did, I'm sure that it really bothered you.
Yeah.
This is not the way, my friend. So how do we find a way where the outcomes don't matter? I already told you you're going to do 0.01 or 0.1. Well, forget that, man. You have, I don't know your life, your personal things, man, but these, you have to find a way, man, to do this.
Do you suggest looking at the weekly, or should I just strictly stay on the 4 hour and 15?
Well, you're not even on the weekly, and you're trading off the weekly to even say anything about the weekly. I'm telling you, you gotta listen to what you suggest. Listen, let's ask you, Mr. Striano, what do you suggest that you do?
I guess I'm
Which is, you don't ask yourself, which is, you don't really ask yourself these questions. You're asking other people. Now, I get it why you're asking me, but I really need you to be so confident. You're like, hey, Mr. Striano, what's the best thing to do here? Well, the zone got wiped. Well, is it a good sell? Well, it's kind of risky sell. Oh, the sell zone, it was a strong one, but then they wiped it. So, I mean, what's the right thing to do here? I mean, if you just, well, you're in such a charged up state. You can't even get to that point where you're, this is what I call a clear state of mind. You're just thinking, like where we are here. There's no money on the line. We're just talking. I don't know if you were one of them, but I think someone said that when I'm with you on the chart, it's clear, but when I'm not, then it's not clear. It makes sense when I'm with you on the one-on-one, but I don't know if it was you or someone else. That's because they don't feel confident when they're alone, maybe in a room, and they have to pull a trigger. Okay, but the confidence comes from your system. Is it a valid zone? Is it a valid signal? Now, you can't lie to yourself and convince you. I'm talking about, honest question, the most honest thing, man. It's your system. Is it a valid zone? Is it a valid signal? And it doesn't always have to be yes. So just because you need money, it doesn't mean that now the zone is valid. You see what I'm saying? It's put everything else aside. Look at the market, the chart. Is it a valid zone, valid signal? And then, we're gonna say, just do this, man. If you can't do this, forget about weekly.
Okay.
Okay. But when you're up 50, you do that, and when you're up 100, so I see all your trades that, at 50 there's some profit, and at 100 there's another profit closed. But that's all I should be seeing when I look at a statement.
Okay.
Because if you can't, follow simple rules like this blindly, obviously it's not the system, it's the driver. Okay. So, we'll see. Well, we shouldn't see, man. We know it's the driver. I'm telling you, you're just thinking emotional. You're just tied to the outcome. You're worried about the money, all that stuff. It's not like some rare problem. Everyone's worried about the outcome, and people who don't give a shit like me are rare. And I want you to also not give a shit. But if you're worried about bills and money and these petty things, I wish that got us closer, but it makes it farther and harder and worse. When we focus on your whole life is focused on the left right here. Is your trading system there? Okay, now it's time to use my profit system and squeeze it. That's all I know. That's all I do. And I don't care if it goes up, down, sideways, higher, low, lower. I don't care. I have a system that I follow. I don't care if the whole planet is buying or selling or doing the opposite. I don't care. I have a system that I follow, and people are not that confident like that, man. It goes up, like we talked about, up tick, down tick. Each tick is charged, and if it goes their way, oh, so happy. If it doesn't, oh, so mad. That's not the way, man. That is the amateur way. That is the way many years ago. I'm telling you, that's not the way. That's how you go gray-haired.
Yeah. I see that.
And sometimes you got to ask yourself, what do you suggest? Okay, who knows what to do, man, better than you? Okay, obviously, the fear and doubt come in, you won't know anything. But I'm telling you, if you let all the information you have, let it, come to the surface and, put all the emotions aside, man, you got to understand in the brain, the logical side of the brain shuts down. Do I have to show you the science of it to believe me? It closes. It's by design. You're getting attacked by a bear. This is not the time to, what's 2 + 2? What's the valid zone? What's the valid signal? That's not the time. Is it up 50? Let me get paid. Is it up 100? That's not the time. Okay? You cannot function when you're scared. You don't get it, man. It's impossible. Money is going to be like the opposite magnet from you when you go, and it's going to move further. Okay, it's impossible, I'm telling you, because the logical brain is closed. That the nerves between the two sides of the brain, that part is closed. Okay, it doesn't have access to it because we don't need it right now. We're scared out of our pants. We gotta, get out of the pain. Okay, that's the number one priority when you're in pain. Can you even think of anything else? Can you even have any kind of desire to go out and have fun? And
Never.
Nothing, man. The brain is 100% focused on that pain and how to get rid of it. Now, if training is going to have anything to do with pain, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's just not the way, man. That's why I'm telling you 0.01, because then there's very little pain. 0.1, okay, well, might be a little bit. 0.01, I'm sure there's very little pain. It should be painless. You've been doing this for years, and you've developed, there's bad habits that we need to break, just like with me, because I was trading wrong for years, and it was all emotionally charged, packed, care about the outcome type stuff. All right, but this is your job, man. If once you break this, you're part of the Lambo crew that they all dream of, but that's not, you really gotta be self-aware, man, of where the problem is. Forget about trading and losing and making money or anything like that. But if you don't understand what the problem is, forget everything else, man. The problem is you're worried about the outcome. They matter. You got to trade where the outcomes don't matter. And who knows? You think I know? You know. You know when the outcome matters, and you know when the outcomes are insignificant. And that's when you trade the best. Is it some magic that you trade the best with small sizes and you trade the worst with large sizes?
That makes sense. You're just, when there's more money on the line, more emotions get involved.
Now you have a lot of emotions, and like you said, you know, your parents or whatever it is, man. We all have a story, but that is that is gonna play a part. Okay, so the more emotions, then the more that you have to realize and understand what's gonna come attack, what's gonna come and tell you to do the wrong shit. You know, you got to understand what you're up against. You got to understand what's you got to understand the two sides pulling, man. The two sides of you tugging. You gotta, you know, be able to understand that and know which one you want to let win the tug. You know exactly what I mean, man. But
I do.
you gotta get some guts, man, and make the decision. This is all about making the decision. And trust me, man, it's not some crazy hard thing. This thing that I wrote for you, I promise you, it's the easiest thing that if you can just do this, everything else won't be a problem. You know what I'm gonna do when, you know, obviously you do this, all of this flawlessly, and it's not that, man, you have no idea if you take one trade on a 15-minute, just what you did. Obviously, not one after the zone gets wide on the opposite direction. But 15-minute, it goes up 50 and you close half, then it just magically goes up 100 and you close the other half. You have no idea, man, how you're going to feel. And you do it again and again, just like driving, man. Just like driving. But if you can do that, and I know you are, and go small if you have to, but I'll just type this one after you master that. We'll have a session where I'm going to tell you at 100 pips, you're going to close what you risked, or maybe we close 10% or whatever it is, not important. If I risked $100 and I'm up 100 pips, I'll close 100. But if I risk 1,000 on the trade, I'll close 1,000. Basically, this is designed to keep the maximum position size open, running, to make the most money of a swing. But and that's a weekly zone. But don't worry about that. If you can't do a 50-minute, 50 do this, 100 do that, forget anything else. Forget about letting it ride to 100, 200, 300. There's levels to this, but I'm giving you step one. You know, I don't want you to go to step 27 and try it. Step one, A, B, C stuff. If you can, you have to do this flawlessly. If you can, you are going to make a bunch of money. Okay, but it's about developing habits. Can you do 50 and do 100 like this? Like you went to the grocery store, oh, it's up 50, you do this. Oh, it's up 100, I do this. Oh, it's not up 100. Oh, it came back and reversed. You're out break even. Who cares? But there's going to be possibilities. But does it matter what the market is? Does it say anywhere to check if there's a lower low?
No.
Nothing. I could do systems like that. I'm not going to give you that stuff. That's crazy. I'm going to make it stupid simple. And this is actually what happens. Markets usually do move 50 to 100 on a 15-minute. But we have to do basic stuff, man, like this, and do small lot sizes if you have to, man. But like I said, there's emotions. You're attached to the outcome. I don't know why. Obviously, most people, they have to make money. Okay, who cares about money right now, man? This is about doing these steps. Red is go, red is stop, green is go. Remember, this is about developing system and following the system blindly. How do you feel when you close 50? How do you feel when you close the 100? Do you feel like, oh man, why did I close the other half? Should have let the whole thing run. Oh, and a whole bunch of stuff, or do you just do it and you don't think about it? Like you went to the grocery store.
Point is doing it like you don't feel.
It doesn't bother you because this is your method. This is your system. You believe in it. You trust in it. You trust in it to get you paid. And you know, it's all meant, my friend. But that fear, man, you have some fear in you. You really gotta You really got to ask yourself, man, some questions on why. Well, here's the most basic question that you should have been asking. We saw the cell zone go up into a cell zone, and we saw it wipe out the cell zone, and then we saw it go through the cell zone and continue up. Why were you unable to benefit from any single buy opportunity?
Because I was attached to my cell.
All right. Now, are attachments profitable?
No.
No, I'll tell you, they're not. But you know, are you going to believe that this attachment to a side is so terrible? It's impossible, man. If you're attached, what if the other thing? Remember, it's either a buy or a sell. Okay. Now you said all your money is on the sell. Well, what it's possible it could not be a sell and it just explodes up and it's a buy. But obviously, if when you're attached to something, you can't see the other possibility. There is no, well, you don't even like, you're probably going to say, well, don't be negative. If I say, well, it's going to go up, do you buy? You're going to say, well, don't be negative, man. It's, don't think like that. Don't be negative, you know, but
yeah.
That's the emotional guy. He says that the trader, it could go either way. I'm going to benefit either way. I'm going to make money either way because I'm prepared for either way. Right, man? Maybe listen to this as a reminder.
I'm gonna.
But remember, man, this is not some analysis stuff. This is not nothing to do with candles, man. I don't spend my time on candles. I spend it on psychology. Why do people do this? And why do people do that? How come people are blind to the buy? The whole thing was there's going up, pushing up. Why why would people never even, I don't want to say think about it, but how come they don't buy? Why are they attached to the cells that keep losing? And then maybe they know, oh, I should have bought after it's all over. This is what I study.